henbit. To a lot of people, it's just a weed. To me, it's magic. First of all, it tastes delicious. The cows love it, the goats love it, and I love it. And as you can see, it grows prolifically. There's just tons of it around here. This is up at the front of the property. And yeah, there's some cows that have been brought in, so it's a little noisy. So I harvested just a couple pounds of the henbit. I just love it. I just think the flowers are beautiful. I happen to like the taste, but I know it's not for everyone. But I've washed this several times, and now I'm just sticking it in the salad spinner, and I'm going to spin out any excess water out of it before I put it in the dehydrator. All right, so here we go. I don't know if you've ever seen how a salad spinner works, but basically it just spins out the water. I'm sure most of you have one, but in the event you're a young person who's never seen one, well, now you will. Anyway. And they're fun to play with too. All right, so we got a bit more water out of it there. All right, excellent. So now I'm going to get the dehydrator and we'll get to drying this. So I'm not just doing the leaves, I'm doing the flowers, the stems, everything. Because first of all, I just love the plant and all parts of the plant. So I'm going for it here. It's all nice and dry and crispy now. So I'm just going to feed it into my little mini food processor here and get this ground up into a very fine well, certainly much smaller. And then I'll put it into my smaller grinder to get it down to a finer powder. So the next step is to, well, put it in my little nut milk bag. And let me get my almond oil. And one little trick I'll show you here that you don't want this falling in. So be wise, and I forget this myself. Just tie a little knot. It'll just keep it from falling down in the oil. Now you could use olive oil. You could use jojoba oil. You can use whatever you like. This is my preference, is almond oil, because it is easily accepted by our skin. It absorbs easier, well, as much as an oil can absorb into that top layer of skin. Almond oil is one of the easiest. The only exception is really jojoba and or actually tallow. And this is going to be a tallow and almond oil salve. The reason for the tallow is because it is very easily accepted. It's the closest to our own natural skin. And when using something that is healing, like henbit or, well, various other herbs, whether you're using comfrey or others, try to use things that the body accepts more easily. Now, of course, you can make a lotion by using water and wax, emulsifying wax and such. And of course, anything made with water is immediately absorbed into the body. Well, this is something that is absorbed into the top layer of the skin. However, the constituents of the actual herb are also carried down lower into the subdermis, and those little constituents are actually what we're wanting to use anyway for healing properties. Alright, so I've added my tallow in now, and I'm just letting it melt. And I know this burner's a little noisy, so we won't spend too much time here, but I like my tallow just like with finer butters. I like to melt it slow inside other oils. I find that it helps with several different aspects of the consistency of the end product. And do I make mistakes sometimes? I absolutely do. Especially with shea butter. Shea butter is my nemesis. I mean, what I'm talking about is the graininess that can come from shea butter. And oftentimes it's after the fact. You make what you believe is a wonderful, beautiful product, and then a few weeks later sometimes it can go grainy on you. This generally happens if it melts or softens along the way, or once it arrives somewhere and then resolidifies too slowly. It can be grainy. It can end up grainy or turn grainy, and that is so depressing. And I'm not to say tallow can't do the same thing. It absolutely can. It has, it does have the ability to go grainy on you as well. So do make sure that you're always getting it well melted at a slow and low temperature. All right, so we'll come back in a bit. All right, so now I'm going to add in my comfrey and stinging nettle. So I've added in my beeswax, and I'm just stirring because I want to make sure that it well blends in with these wonderful oils. Notice the beeswax is already forming along the edge, see the cooler edge of the actual dish is where, or of the bowl, it's starting to form. So that means that it's starting to cool. All right, I'm going to add in my wonderful essential oils here. And now it's time to pour. So I thought I'd give you all an update on how our Barry is doing. He had the procedure yesterday afternoon. Later, 3 hours later than it was supposed to be, they had an emergency that came in, blah, blah, blah. He came through the procedure. They were able to get the mass out. But he had a allergic reaction to the anesthesia. And he's still not awake yet. They still have him there. He's on fluids. They're having to give him, basically he's on a respirator. Now I don't know how he's going to do. I can tell you that I think everything will be okay. I mean, they said that this does happen on occasion, that animals do have a negative reaction, and that it'll probably be okay. I called back about 25 minutes ago, and they did say that he had opened his eyes and had moved around a little, not standing, but had moved his legs a bit. Those are good signs. And I'm just going to keep on that. I'm going to go up there in a little while and see him. But I just wanted to give you folks an update because I know several people have asked, and I really do appreciate it. I love this stupid little dog. You know, Barry was just a stray that I found under my shed that a neighbor who didn't care about their animals had allowed their dog to just wander the neighborhood unspayed, had puppies under my shed, and I'm getting off into another story. But anyway, I love Barry very much. He's important to me. And I appreciate all of you. Anyway, the help that you gave in making your purchases, that was really sweet and helpful. But anyway, this is a nice little salve, and I'm putting way too much on it because I'm nervous and talking, but I really like it. I like it a lot. I always enjoy herbal salves. And this one is a very new concoction for me. And it is similar in some ways to the Happy Hands, but it's kind of a combination of the Happy Hands and the Petal Smooth salve that I did for scars. It's a nice combination, I think, of those, kind of bringing everything into a single salve. And because of the essential oils in it, I feel that it's based on the things I've read, that it's very healing, and I like it. I love the smell, by the way. And I'll get this in the Etsy store as soon as I can. So if you're interested, it'll be there. And but thank all of you very much for your kind thoughts about Barry. Means the world to me. It really does. Like you all mean to me. So thanks so much, everyone, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.